Welcome back to another edition of Baseball for Maniacs. We are 2 weeks into the MLB season, and last week we kind of did a rundown of all the series. I figured for more entertainment value, we'd kind of just lock in on some of the big storylines that went out throughout Major League Baseball. And I would say probably the biggest is what's going on with the Boston Red Sox. And I'm going to yield to my co-host Ryan. Just let me know what's going through your head, because I don't really know much. The only thing I know is there were sell the team chants today, which is genuinely insane. But the floor is yours, brother man.
So don't mind me for a second. I'm just pulling up the standings right now for all of Major League Baseball. Okay, I can confirm this now. The Red Sox, as of after losing to the Padres today, are 2-7, which officially gives them the worst record in all of Major League Baseball. And I'm standing pat on the title of the video that I released a couple of days ago, where the Red Sox are the worst team in baseball. And all they've done since I've released that video is prove me right. Ranger didn't look good today against the Padres. He didn't even go more than 5 innings. Thanks, Philly. Every other acquisition that Craig Breslow has made has not looked great. Sonny Gray had a decent little outing against the Padres the other day. Cool, that was cool to see. Other than that, it's just been straight dog shit. There has been nothing good going for this team except Willie Abreu. He's the only guy that came to play this season. Everybody else is just in fucking la-la land. I don't know what's going on. I said it in the video, there's no approach at the plate. I don't know what's going on pitching-wise either, because there's no approach to anybody at the plate either. It's just like, throw the breaking stuff, hope that they swing at it, and if not, then you gotta challenge him. Like, Garrett Crochet's the only guy on this roster who can get away with that. Rangers 90 Poo isn't gonna get away with that. I'm really upset with Ranger Suarez because his Aprils are usually stellar. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's usually lights out in the month of April. Like when he was in Philadelphia, that was like his prime month that wasn't like a playoff time. He would start the season out hot, he'd get hurt, he would come back in time for the playoffs and lock in. That's what Ranger Suarez does. And he can't even do that for the Red Sox. And I said it in the video too, that this is Alex Cora's make or break year. This is Alex Cora's make or break month. I don't want Alex Cora in my damn dugout anymore. He lost his credibility when Rafi Devers got traded. He could hang his hat down saying that he developed Rafi Devers into the best hitter, one of the best hitters in baseball. Not the best hitter in baseball, excuse me. One of the best hitters in baseball at the time. And he did. He did a fantastic job getting Rafi to the level that he got to. What has he done since? We haven't won a World Series since 2018. We've been in the playoffs a couple of times, but they've all been failures. We haven't looked good in the regular season. We're the worst defensive team metrically pretty much every season. It's not fun to watch Red Sox baseball. I wanted to have fun going into this regular season, and I'm glad the majority of you are having fun. And it's been a good season for a couple of you guys. Owen, I know the Phillies have been doing pretty all right.
5-4, we're chilling.
Yeah, but yeah, it's better than 2-7. It's better than having the worst record in all of baseball. It's better than having talent out the ass and not being able to do anything with it. Roman Anthony is going to be the best player in baseball in the next 5 years. Book it. Marcelo Meyer is showing flashes that he's going to be the next best AL East middle infielder. I love Carlos Narvaez behind the plate, but there was this weird thing that he got benched the other day, and there was like some type of attitude thing, but apparently he misread that or whatever. I don't know. But the state of affair in Boston right now is DEFCON like 4. Everybody should be in panic mode. I don't care that it's April. I don't care that it's this early. The Red Sox suck. There needs to be change. Something needs to happen. We just lost a series to the Padres, and the Brewers are coming to town. So it doesn't get any easier. We suck, and it's only going to get worse. I don't know what else to say. The Red Sox are the worst team in baseball, and it makes me very, very depressed. The fact that I'm not in jail because of the Red Sox right now, I am genuinely surprised with myself.
Yeah, no, I wish I could tell you everything is going to be okay, but
It's not. It's not going to be okay. I'm sorry, Red Sox Nation. Nothing is going to be okay. Burn the jerseys, burn the flags, sell your tickets, sell the team. John Henry only cares about soccer. Get him off Boston. Get him out of Beantown. Fuck the ownership. Fuck the Red Sox. This is the worst team in baseball. The worst start to a season since the Colorado Rockies. I don't care. It's terrible. This is the worst team I've seen on a baseball field.
well, so starting off 2-7, again, these games matter. That's what people don't get.
You texted me that the other day.
What these games matter?
Yeah, because I think I texted, because Pavetta was on the hill, and it was, the battle of, the 6 ERAs, and you were like, you better win this series. And I was like, we're not.
Like, it's just like, especially in that gauntlet of an AL East, and to be honest, the only team that's really playing really well is the Yankees, but I think the Blue Jays will get it together. I think Baltimore will get it together to where if you're looking in August to September and you're like, what, 3, 4 games back? Like, that doesn't seem like a lot, but in the sense of like that time of the year it is, and you look back at these games and it's like starting 2-7 with that team is ridiculous. Ranger Suarez, look, the Phillies had a decision to make. It was either give the guy that throws 90 poo, which can be effective if it's located right, it hasn't been located right, or the guy that throws 99. They decided to go with the guy that throws 99. And I love Ranger Suarez to death. He's a Phillies legend. He's always a good guy in my book. He was the prime candidate to you do not give him a long-term deal with money over $20 million. It's because you expect there to be a drop-off when you give a pitcher a long-term contract towards the end of the contract. He was throwing 90 poo last year. Granted, it was effective. It was a sub-4 ERA. He pitched well in the playoffs. And I think Ranger's going to be fine. But him kind of having that label of being like the number 2 or number 3, because Sonny Gray's not a number 2. He's a 5-inning demon at best, and he's not even that. So you guys had all the depth in the world starting pitching-wise, but you don't have a lot of star talent. Now, Connerly Early does look good, and I think he can develop into that young stud. But he's not Cam Schlittler. Or, I keep saying his name wrong. What is it?
Schlittler.
Schlittler, stupid. We'll get into him.
Too, before we move on, the Yankees did just lose to the Marlins 7-6. It was a rain delay game, so they started very, very late. I think it was like a 1:30 start time, and the game just ended like 2 minutes ago. So
yeah. So they're 7-2, and the Dodgers are 7-2. So they still both have the best records in baseball. And let's segue into that. We're going to go over some other stuff, but mine as well since we're talking about it. The Yankees and the Dodgers are currently, right now, the 2 best teams in baseball. And it's funny because they're doing it in different ways. The Yankees, they're just good all over. Like, their offense is unbelievable. The Dodgers are doing it straight on pitching. But I don't know if you've taken a look at the Yankees' stats from the offensive side. It's unbelievable. Aaron Judge can go to hell, but he still has... He still has an 853 OPS, so that's pretty good. Ben Rice has a 1380 OPS. Cody Bellinger, 892. Paul Goldschmidt, 967. Granted, most of it's probably just against lefties. Oh, yeah, he only has like 9 at-bats, so that doesn't count.
What's Giancarlo doing?
974.
Right.
And then it kind of drops off after that. But if you got 5 guys doing that, I'm sure the Yankees' theme is do this in April, do this in May, and then when it comes to October, they kind of fall off a cliff. And then they're pitching.
Like, it's one of these things. They either start out really hot and then they collapse, or they start out shit and then they explode after the All-Star break. It's never not the Yankee way.
Yeah. And then they're pitching. Schlittler, like you said, he has a 0.0 ERA in 2 starts. And I was of the notion of, like, maybe see if you can get an absolute haul for him. I'm looking like a dumbass now because this guy looks like the pitcher to take the mantle from Garrett Cole when he eventually, gets up there in age. He's going to come back mid-year. Not mid-year, probably May or so. But we don't know how he's going to pitch off Tommy John. But Max Fried looks good. Ryan Weathers is so mid, but he's doing mid stuff right now. Will Warren's fine. And it's just like, dude, they came out with a sense of urgency. The Red Sox didn't. Hell, the Blue Jays got swept by the White Sox. That's unbelievable.
Taka Murakami, by the way.
970 OPS around. So it's only 9 games, but he looks pretty good. But I just think, yeah.
Just before we move on from the Yankees, I just wanted to go over what Max Fried did today. He went 6 2/3. He had 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and 4 Ks. So that brings his ERA up to a horrible 1.35.
Yeah. I mean, Max Fried is always good, but he never scares me in the playoffs.
He locked in. Like, honestly, he was good with the Braves, but then he got the contract. And sometimes when they get the contract, it's like, okay, I got it. I can chill now. He locked in.
Yeah, but he was never good in the postseason. Like, he had that one start to win the World Series. Granted, big start. But he came into that start with a 6 ERA. He was terrible in 22. He wasn't good in 23 against us. He got lit up against the Padres in the wild card series. So it's just like you want your number 2 guy to be a playoff riser. That's why I would say with Ranger, kind of hold off. Because if Ranger sucks, right, 4.5 ERA to 5. But if he has a playoff run of 2 to 3 starts, you're not going to care about that. So I think that's where the element of like who you sign with your free agency, postseason success matters. But I picked the Yankees to win the AL East. I think they're completely on that trajectory right now. They're just a damn good baseball team. I don't know if they had that winning fire in them. I feel like they're very similar to the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't even know if the Phillies have the fire in them because they haven't done it yet. So those teams are going to be very interested to watch. And then you got the shitty Dodgers. Whatever. Like, genuinely, who the hell cares? Like, their offense, I don't. Andy Pa has decided to turn into Jesus Christ himself. Happy Easter, everybody. And it's just funny because Mookie Betts, who just went on the 10-day IL, hope he get better, whatever, 710 OPS. I think Mookie could genuinely be cooked. I don't know. That might be an outlandish statement, but it's back-to-back years. Freddie Freeman's going to be fine, but he's also 36. So he could literally just like collapse on the field and he's over. We don't want that to happen. I'm just saying he's older. Shohei's so good. Whatever. 880 OPS. Will Smith 806 OPS. Teoscar has an 850 OPS. Oh, this lineup's really good. You know, it's funny. On Friday, those weren't their stats. They were literally on the same level as the Phillies. Like, their top four guys had sub 600 OPSs. Besides Freddie, he was like at 630. And it just shows you how early in the season things can change. And they went into Washington and they lit up Miles Michaelis. The fact that Miles Michaelis got a job, he's awful. He sucks. And it's just like unbelievable, dude. It's like 80 poo. You think 90 poo's bad? It's 80 poo, and it's not just 80 poo. It's 80 poo right down the dick. And I'm like, my God. So the Dodgers, they're good, and it's just like
Kyle Hendricks if he didn't have any control.
dude, Kyle Hendrick he literally had Miles Michaelis stuff, but he knew how to locate it like an animal. Miles is just throwing that. He was good, man. He's one of those guys who's like, I don't know why I can't hit 83, but it's like located
I'm
right.
pretty
So
sure he's in the Hall of Pretty Good now, actually.
should be. But we knew the Dodgers were going to be good coming into this year. But you know who's not good? Roki Sasaki, dude. At some point,
I
at
have
some
I have to say, before you go in on your Roki, I have to say, you had me crying laughing earlier today because you just sent me his stat line on Instagram, and the only thing you had to say about it was, "Yay!"
I actually feel like an asshole in the sense of like how much I want his career to fail, but I don't. It's just like, are they going to make the decision to put him in the bullpen like permanently? Because I feel like they have to. Because what are they going to do if he struggles again and Blake Snell's ready to go? Are they going to put Roki in AAA, which is what they did last year towards the end of the year? He was terrible, so they were like, let's throw him in the bullpen. And then he decided to lock in for no goddamn reason. Sorry for blasphemy or whatever I just said. It's Easter. But Roki is just not good. Like, I don't think he has a mentality. I think he could do it in the spurts of the bullpen. But it's like, yeah, he sucks. But the Dodgers are going to be good. They're going to run away with the NL West. I think they're going to run away with the National League in the sense of getting that 1 seed. But I'm not afraid of them in the playoffs. Are they the favorites against us? Absolutely. Our offense is anemic. But I don't know, man. Like, they're good, but I don't think they're Yankees-level dynasty to be afraid of. They beat up on the Nationals. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers were going to be the best team in baseball regardless of what happened. I mean, the Yankees look fantastic right now. I hate to say it, but if anything, I'm a truther. Like, I'm a baseball guy. Like, I know talent, and I'm not going to just say, like, oh, the Yankees aren't a good baseball team because I'm a Red Sox fan. I want to, but I'm not going to. I'd lose all credibility. And
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life. But the thing is, the Dodgers, it's like you said, you said it when we did our NL West prediction, that the Dodgers were kind of just using the regular season as postseason prep because it's almost a guarantee that they're going to make it. Now, granted, baseball is a very weird sport. Anything can happen. We've seen crazier things happen. We're seeing something pretty wild right now in the world of baseball, and it makes me really, really happy, and it makes you probably really scared for playoff tickets that you may have to buy because the Pirates, Owen, look
Oh, boy.
damn good right now.
So, yeah, let's segue into it. So, Connor Griffin got the call. Crazy.
Finally.
And everyone says, well, why would you wait a week the reason they did that, it was they were waiving the contract extension in front of his eyes, and they said if you sign this, you're going to get called up. It was leverage. Clear. It's clear to understand it. He had a nice hit in his first at bat. He struggled this weekend. Connor Griffith's going to be a star. Just the fact of like the way he carries himself. He does not look 19, but he acts like a veteran the way he speaks, and the talent level is there. But let's get into these damn Pirates hitter stats because that's always been the Pirates' problems. O'Neal Cruz is looking good. And I'm just like, am I happy? Am I mad? I have no freaking idea. Because everyone knows I'm a D1 O'Neal Cruz hater. Not in the sense of the person, I just don't think the talent level's there. I would love to be proven wrong. Not really. I don't know. But he is a 1,025 OPS, batting 314. His defense needs to go. Like, they should have just put him at DH, but then they got Marcell Ozuna, who's struggling mightily. But if he gives you that on the offensive side, he can botch all the balls he wants in center field because that's star-level production. Brandon Lau is a dud at second base from the defensive side, but not from the offensive side. 1,000 OPS as well. Ryan O'Hearn, good player, good name, but he's going nuclear, 1,100 OPS. And then the rest of the guys are kind of just like filling in their part. Brian Reynolds, 727. Mitch Keller looks good. The bullpen looks good. And I think what they also have, obviously they have made additions on the sense of like the players, right? They've gotten better. But there's a rejuvenation in that city. Pittsburgh has been dying for that. Their owner, I still think, is a piece of crap. But he did do a decent job of at least putting some money back to the ball club. And I hope he realizes he's going to get his money back. Like, you saw PNC Park for Connor Griffin's debut. Like, it was unbelievable. They're going to sell out every game if they're competitive. And, yeah, with the ticket sense, like, obviously I don't want them in the playoffs because I'm going to have to put some dough out. But I, honestly, like, besides that, I think it's really good for baseball. When the Pirates are good, which is very rare, they have some of the best fan bases, and that ballpark is beautiful. What do they call it? Bucktober? Tough. So I'm excited to see. I think Connor Griffin's going to get off to he's going to have a good week. I think he's going to be absolutely fine. I think the Pirates are in a really good spot. However, the Brewers are really good. They're 7-2. They're the regular season demons for some reason. Then they just get embarrassed by whoever they play in the NLDS or the NLCS. But they'll probably win 90 to 95 games. I think the Cubs, even though they're like 4-5 or 5-4, I think they're going to be good. The Reds are the Reds are 6-3, so the NL Central might be pretty damn good. So we're just gonna have to see what the Pirates do. But give me your thoughts on essentially your team, like your NL team.
I guess like if I'm not gonna root for the Red Sox, I mean I'm gonna root for the Red Sox, but if I have a team that I'm rooting for quietly, it'll be the Pittsburgh Pirates just because I want to see them do good. It's nice seeing the NL Central be competitive in the sense of like they're not boring. They have a lot of really good young stars in there. I'm not too crazy high on Jackson Chourio, but he's a good ball player that keeps the Brewers in contention. I love Jay Miz as a pitcher. Being able to throw 103 for 7 innings straight is like mythical level unicorn stuff to me. The NL Central is becoming a fun division, and it's going to be really, really fun to see the development of that. When the Cardinals get really good in a couple years, then that division is just going to be lights out, and the Cardinals don't even look terrible this year. I think they're off to an above 500 start if I remember looking.
I think they're like 4 and
I think they're
5.
5-4 or something.
Yeah, their pitching's gonna deplete very soon.
Yeah, but nevertheless, the Pirates look, I'll say, phenomenal. They look great. It's really nice to see them look good. O'Neal Cruz is still dog shit in center field, but it's nice to see him turn things around with the bat. We knew the pitching starting-wise was going to be fine. It's nice to see the bullpen come through when they need them to, and it's just been really solid play all around. Can they keep it consistent? Well, that's just what we're going to have to see. But as of right now, the Pirates are a very, very fun team to watch, and I'm looking forward to the remaining rest of their games going forward because Connor Griffin's up, Paul Skeens is still throwing the best balls that we've ever seen.
He dropped his ERA from 60-something to 9.
57.
Unbelievable. Like, that's genuinely, he dropped his ERA like 58. Like, unbelievable. But Paul Skeens is one of the best in baseball. But I'm excited. Like, well, it's just so funny because I don't want to spend the money, especially in this economy. You know what gas is like, dude? And I'm going to be spending out like $500 on these damn Pirates tickets.
I had to drive to Reading to go do a play-by-play for the basketball team up there. Shout out the Reading Rebels. And I was passing a Sinclair gas station. Dude, 410.
There's gonna be riots in the
I
streets.
cried.
There's gonna be people taking other people's gas. Like we are in for not a treat, but
Someone's gonna be caught siphoning. It's gonna go viral on like TikTok or Instagram.
or
And
Twitter.
oh god, Twitter's a cesspool.
Stay off Twitter, man. I've been trying to. But nevertheless, Joe Adell had the game of his life,
Oh my
and
god, dude.
dude, Joe Adell, such an interesting player because the talent was always there. But for like 4 years, it was just the same story. Okay, defender, not even that great. Like he could never find his footing in center, but he was a good corner guy. Just strikes out a lot. He had a great year last year, and you would think, is that an anomaly or is he figuring it out? Because you don't really see a lot of late bloomers, which is kind of what he is, even though he's still very young because he got drafted out of high school. But that catch he made, my God. And guess who was pitching? Jordan Romano, who has a 0 ERA, and I told you this would happen. I told you this would happen. He's going to sign with the team, a shitty team, and he's going to have a resurgent year. Now, if he would have re-signed with us, he couldn't handle Philadelphia. I think he's a great guy. I think he is okay stuff. I don't know. But it's not a Jordan Romano like topic. Joe Adell making that catch. It was just like, that's why I love the game of baseball. Like, that picture of him getting up and just holding the ball, that's what the kids call aura. And I'm just like, I freaking love this game. The Angels are not good. I think if they get new ownership, which is possible with Artie Moreno being 76, they're dying for baseball in, what county are they in?
Oh
Orange
god,
County, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, in whatever that area, there's tons of Angels fans and genuinely great fans to where just seeing that moment, it's like it's there, but no one in the ownership's willing to grab it, and I hope they eventually get new ownership. But what'd you think of one? He made 3 catches like that to where they better extend him because he's one of those guys to where just don't trade him. Like extend him, make him part of your core. Extend Neto, extend your young guys. Go get starting pitching and have a day.
So just to piggyback off of what you were saying about extensions, Neto, Adele, Ohapi, extend them. Everybody else can go. But going into Joe Adele, I saw a stat yesterday that the game yesterday that he had defensively, it was a literal one-war game. The way that he produced yesterday, it was a literal one-war game. That's ridiculous. And what would we call that back in the day, or a farming? Would that just be swag? Like when we were playing, if somebody did stuff like that, would that just be swag?
Well, it depends, because yes, it's swag, but I don't think we had a term for trying.
Aura farming.
Yeah, aura farming's like Harper does it all the time. Hits a homer, does something intentional that is dope. But if you're doing it you know what you're doing, that's when the aura farming comes in. I don't think we had a name for that for us. I think we just call him a dickhead.
I was gonna say, we honestly back when we were playing, it was probably a little bit worse, but times have changed. But
Yeah.
anyway,
What the hell are you doing, buddy? Sit down.
yeah, anyway, Joe Adele. He those catches were career defining, honestly. He could be mid the rest of his career and everybody's going to be like, yo, you remember those catches Joe Adele made? And the fact that he did 3 of them in a game, I don't think that's ever happened in the history of baseball. I don't know if anybody's ever robbed 3 home runs in the history of in the game, and then having one of them to be the end, the whole thing, saving the game. If he let up any of those home runs, if he let up one of those, the game's tied, first of all. If he let up 2 of them, they lose. So the fact that he's able to make all 3 of those catches, 2 of them were ridiculously difficult, and then the third one just falling into the crowd, and then that picture that's going to be hung up on some kid's post wall in Los Angeles, and then he's going to be the next best Angels outfielder. It's going to go Mike Trout, Joe Adell, some kid that just saw that catch. He just changed baseball in Los Angeles, and he didn't even mean to.
I can just imagine in 20 years the Joe Adell edits of just what could have been a genuinely a hall of pretty good. I don't think he's ever going to be a star, but that talent, that energy, that just flair, the way he swings the bat just very aggressively. I'm excited to see what Joe Adell does because I think he could be a star in this league, which I really didn't think about. I just thought he was one of those players that was he had all the tools, he had all the talent, but sometimes they don't translate to on-field success. we might be seeing a star in the making. But let's get into whatever the hell Carter Jensen was doing.
That
Um,
was the funniest thing because like I saw that and I was like, that's fake, right? Like I
well,
heard it on WIP and I was like,
yeah.
he overslept. What?
Well, it's like, do you set only one alarm, or like, because my alarm, it will keep running for 9 minutes. I don't know why it's nine. It said, what time do you want? Nine was the option. So it's like, I guess he had one alarm, and it probably was set to like a minute, to where if he didn't wake up in that minute, he was done for. Also, what the hell was he doing the night before? Like, how deep of a sleep were you in, brother man? Um, my opinion, he's young, obviously not acceptable, but it's like, what is he, 19, 20?
Something like that.
Maybe a little older. I
He's
mean, we've
younger than
all,
us. I know that.
yeah, I mean, we've all overset for our job to where it's like, it's going to be a learning experience. I don't think anything big's going to come out of it. He definitely got a stern talking to by Vinny Pasquantino. But as long as he just takes it on the chin and just, be better in the future, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
No, it's just funny. Honestly, it's more because I like shout out Vinny Pasquantino actually because when I don't know if you saw the little interview that he did post game afterwards, but like he actually handled it very well. Like
Yeah.
he gave him like a pretty stern like this can't happen again, but he also made it very clear that like nobody was mad at him because like mistakes happen. If anything, they said that they were more worried about him because like bro just didn't show up to morning workouts and like morning routine and stuff like that. So it's like what the hell happened to Carter? And then
Yeah.
Salvi being the old man having to throw on the catcher's gear out of nowhere. Shout out Salvador Perez
Good
being
guy.
the absolute legend that he is for the Kansas City Royals. But, it's kind of like you said. It's a learning experience. We've all done it. We haven't done it to the extent that Carter Jensen has
Well,
done it. Uh,
yeah.
and I don't,
We're not making millions of dollars.
and that's the thing. If you and I overslept for a game, the worst that was gonna happen to us was that we were just gonna run the entire time.
I would just lie. Just be like, my car has trouble, or like my dad's car had trouble. Like, there's so many ways to get out of it, but not at the professional level, at our
No,
level.
you're
Like,
absolutely
what's
right.
my gonna do? Like, but yeah.
Yeah, but like
All
either
right.
way, Jensen's very young. He's got a lot of time to be great in this league. I think he's one of the better younger prospect catchers in the league. Honestly, if I was looking at things
Yeah.
properly, and learning under Salvi, he's gonna be great. Let's just set a second alarm, and I don't think this will ever happen
Or
again.
5 or 10. Like, genuinely, like, there's no way you can ever let that happen again. But I don't think he will. And then some other stuff. Juan Soto was heading to the IL with some calf tightness. He was running around third in San Francisco. You never want to see injuries. We'll have to monitor that. I can tell you what, he's never going to hustle again for the rest of the year. Rightfully so. If you're that type of hitter and you have calf problems, we know what calf problems lead to. That'd be terrible for the game of baseball. Even though he is a Met, we don't want any injuries. Lindor's not a leader. I did a full video on that. I think Lindor, the way he's welcomed Juan Soto into the clubhouse, is utterly ridiculous. It's selfish. It's just like there's something wrong in New York right now to where it's like I genuinely think there's a realistic chance that Lindor gets traded. Probably not this year, but at some point. I just don't think their relationship is working, and I don't think it's Juan Soto's fault. I think it's absolutely on Francisco Lindor.
Well, that's kind of what happens when you bring two headstrong guys and put them on the same team together, Juan Soto was more than willing to take the back seat to Aaron Judge because he knew going into that team that was Aaron Judge's team. There was no going into that team and making it your team. Going into the Mets, it could have been Frankie's team. It could have been Juan's team. Now is it Bo's team? Was it Pete's team? Was it like even if you wanted to throw in Brandon Nimmo, was it Brandon Nimmo's team? Was it whoever the hell else they had in it? Like Brett Beatty? I'm just throwing names out there now, but like that team was really up for grabs in the sense of like face of the franchise. And when Juan Soto comes into a team that isn't the Yankees or that isn't like a team that already has that established superstar, not saying that Frankie isn't a superstar, but you know exactly what I mean. Juan Soto is going to be the face of that franchise. Like when he went to the Padres, the face was Fernando Tatis. It wasn't Juan Soto.
Yeah.
When
And
Juan
even they
Soto
had
got
problems in San Diego.
Exactly. When he got to the Yankees, the face was Aaron Judge. And even then, if you weren't going to say it was Aaron Judge, it was Garrett Cole. It wasn't Juan
Mm.
Soto.
But even Juan Soto, like, I don't think he wants to be the leader. Like, he comes in, he does his job, he's kind of keeps to himself a little bit from the reports.
And guess
I
what?
think where the beef lies with them is he wasn't welcomed at all by Lindor. Like, Lindor didn't even give him a phone call. And
And
it's
here's the
like,
thing. Like, dude, a player of Juan Soto's caliber, too bad. You have to be the leader. You have to be the guy that people go to. You have to be the standard bearer of excellence. Juan Soto is a generational talent. We are never going to see an eye like Juan Soto for the next 20 years probably. If Juan Soto could have a 330 batting average for his career. He could have a 510 career on base percentage. Like, he's that good. I think Juan Soto has the best eye in baseball history, and I'm talking at the same level as Bryce Harper and Barry Bonds. Like, this
Bryce
guy
Harper
is
doesn't have an eye anymore, so.
anymore. You can't say that early Bryce. He was
Of
picky. He
course.
was really picky, but I mean, he did have a good eye.
Yeah.
And either way, like my point about Juan Soto is that he's too good of a player to shy away from superstar responsibilities. He's too good of a player to shy away from leadership roles. He got to hide behind Aaron Judge. He got to hide behind Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado, if you want to even put it that way. Last year, he got to hide behind Pete Alonso. He's the guy now. Frankie's trying to be the guy, and clearly things aren't working out because they think he's a drama queen. You think he's a drama queen, apparently. And now with Soto being on the IL, this is Frankie's team. When Soto comes back, it's gonna try. It's gotta be Soto's team. It can't be anybody else's. He's too good to. He's too good of a player to not be the leader of the team.
Here's where I'll disagree. Juan Soto was never a leader. So when someone offers you leadership money when you're not a leader, that's not on the player, that's on the ownership. That's on the Mets. To where it's like you're bringing someone into your organization knowing that they're not a leader, right? Like they've never demonstrated leadership qualities. He hasn't demonstrated any like negative quality. Well, kind of San Diego a little bit, but that was like, was it Machado? Was it him? Was it Tatis? Tatis was taking steroids, so you can't really blame Soto in that sense. But Juan Soto really, he just was a ball player. To where I get it, you're kind of saying he makes superstar money. Superstar has different responsibilities. But wouldn't you rather someone be their authentic self compared to, oh, I got all this money now I'm the leader, and it's not authentic? Like, I always compare it to Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. Bryce Harper's not a vocal leader. He's a lead by example, similar to Juan Soto. Now, thank God we have Kyle Schwarber in that clubhouse, and it's no coincidence that the Phillies started winning when Kyle Schwarber came in, because Kyle Schwarber is that vocal leader, to where I don't think Juan Soto should have the responsibility of being the leader just because he makes that money because he never showed leadership qualities. That's just my opinion.
And you're not wrong, but when there's clearly divides in the team, and it's either got to be between you, Frankie, or Bo Bichette, somebody's got to take the reins. Somebody's got to be.
Or they can just have the whole thing get shot to hell, and the Mets don't make the playoffs, and the Mets Met. The Lindor Soto thing is such a Mets thing to happen, and I'm eating it up.
Oh, I know you are. You're having the time of your life with this. But I guess my point on Juan Soto is, like, I do genuinely believe he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. Whether he lives up to the expectations that he's supposed to live up to or not, he will be in the Hall of Fame regardless, just
Yeah.
based on the player that he is. I would love to see him lock in and be that leader that I think he should be, but I understand where you're coming from as well. He never really had to. Even when he was on the Nationals, he was there with an early young Bryce Harper and Trey Turner and Ryan Zimmerman, and even if you wanted to go out and say Strasburg or Scherzer. So it's not like he hasn't been able to learn from leaders to see how they lead the ball club. It's just kind of on him to nut up. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not on him to do that and be the guy when he hasn't ever really been the guy. It's the Mets' fault for giving him that kind of money. But when you see your ball club going down the drain, when you had the chance to stay across the street and make the playoffs consistently, you chose to go over here and be the guy. Be the guy.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out, and I want it to turn into an utter shit show, which I kind of think it already has. Like, they played the Cardinals, and they lost that series. They won the series against the Giants. Giants are terrible. Now, we play them, so they're probably going to sweep us because I'm going to eat my words, but I don't think the Mets are that good this year, but we'll have to wait and see. Other stuff going on in Major League Baseball, we'll kind of run through this before we get into our last point. Mike Trout got hit on the hand today. Now, thank God, the x-rays came back negative, but it's like, dude,
Who hit him?
I don't even know who it was. It wasn't, well, Wu hit him on Friday night, but that was like on the shoulder or whatever. But it's just, what do the baseball gods have against Trout? Like, was it just like
I was
a
gonna say
deal?
whoever hit him, just like burn him, crucify him. Happy Easter.
Genuinely. Happy Easter. I just think maybe like he made it. Obviously, this is just like talking nonsense, but like what he had to give up for that prime, like that first half was unbelievable. And then like he's just paying the consequences of whatever deal he had to make. Obviously, that's not true, but it's just like you kind of think what's going on with the baseball gods. Not that I'm questioning them, but at some point it gets a little ridiculous. But he should be fine, thank God. So maybe the baseball gods were on his side today. White Sox sweep the Blue Jays, cool. I like you and me both said that the White Sox are going to be a fun team. Not a good team, a fun team. The Blue Jays, I think they'll be fine, but they just played some sloppy baseball. And I think the White Sox have a chance to sneak up on a lot of teams because they're going to think, oh, it's the White Sox. No, no, no. Murakami's a stud. They got some young cats in there. Their pitching's still not good, but they could win some series. So I think that was interesting. Another sweep. The Reds swept the Rangers. Even though the Rangers beat us in Philly on the opening series, I don't think they're a good team. I think Kutch has had a really good year in the sense of like he got signed to a minor league deal. Love Kutch. I just don't think they have enough firepower in their offense. Their pitching's pretty good, but whatever. The Reds, I have no idea what they're going to be. I genuinely don't. They could be one of those really fun teams, or they could be one of those teams that just are 80 and 80. Kind of what they were last year, even though they made it to the playoffs. They won 83 games to like, let's not get crazy. But that's pretty much it in Major League Baseball. The ABS, I think, has been wonderful. That's the last topic we'll get into before wrapping it up for Week 2 recap of the MLB season. I think it adds an entertainment layer that we didn't really predict because it's like when you're on the home side and the home team challenges for those like 5 to 10 seconds of like you're excited to see if you get the call right or wrong. Like it's like kind of like theater, and everyone says, "Oh, this kind of hurts the umpires." Dude, it gives the umpires a get out of jail free card. Now, if your umpires like CB Buckner and like the terrible ones, it's going to make you look bad. To where good,
Did you
get
see
those
him
guys.
get blasted with a foul ball right off the mask, like one of his first games behind the dish?
That was tough to see. You never want to see that. And I kind of wanted to see the game in the sense of like how he was going to call it. But when you're that bad at your job, this is good to kind of get you out of the game. And it might not even be their fault. They might just be older. Like your vision goes. Now, granted, CB Buckner was never a good umpire, and he was arrogant the way he did it. So I think he deserves everything he gets. Not the foul ball to his face. That's genuinely insane. But like the middle to above average umpires, it's also showing how good these umpires are because when they miss a call, but it's by 0.3 of an inch, like even if they overturn the call, they're like, "Damn, that was pretty freaking close. How do you even know?"
Close.
Yeah,
Like, I have a kind of controversial opinion though. Seeing ABS, it makes me miss Angel.
I think that we would have had a field day with that. We would have had
I
a
would have
field
had
day.
the time of my life because Angel's strike zone, if I remember, it was all over the place, but it was criminally low. Everything at the
Yeah.
knees was a strike. So I'm just like imagining it now. Like the batter has challenged the ruling of a strike, and it's like 5 inches below the strike
Well,
zone.
did you see the one with the Yankees where they got like 4 challenges correct in a row, and it was all on low pitches to where some people were like the Yankees were being trashy in the sense of like what's the word, like barking at the umpire when they could challenge it because it doesn't really matter. But I kind of agree with the Yankees in the sense of like if you constantly see that you're not calling the low pitch correctly, adjust. Fix that. That's what hitters have to do. That's what pitchers have to do to keep their job. Why are you just getting a complete get out of jail free card? The challenges should be okay. 2 to 3 times a game, you make a mistake. It's that close. We're not going to blame you. But if you're missing by over an inch, challenge after challenge after challenge, and you're not making a adjustment, you suck at your freaking job, and you deserve to be chirped at.
See, I have an answer for that, and it's kind of a weird one because we know that the strike zone is kind of like this naturalized thing that should be a set in stone thing for everybody.
Yeah.
Every umpire's strike zone is different. Like everybody, it's supposed to be the set thing that everybody knows and loves, but everybody has a different strike zone,
And
and
it
that's
shouldn't be
kind of
like that.
it's what made baseball unique for a while. But it's also like in the sense of like I have one con to ABS. My only con to ABS is that it kind of eliminates framing. It gets rid of a really good aspect of defensive catching. You know, guys
Not
like Patrick
completely, though.
Bailey and guys like JT Realmuto, who are really good framers, are gonna not be able to steal those strikes anymore because jerk off in the plate's just gonna be able to go, and then they're gonna be able to get that overturned.
But it's also like using your challenges is a very interesting strategy because if you get it wrong early in the game, you lose in the ninth inning. To where I think framing still has this important element because it's like if JT or Patrick Bailey does a quick frame job and the hitter doesn't really have time to recognize it, he might think, "Oh crap, was that a strike? First or second inning?" He's not challenging, so it takes the element of that out slightly, but not 100%. And I don't think they're ever going to go full ABS because the Korean League does, the KBO I believe does full ABS, and it's awful because
It's
the
bad.
catchers are not caring about framing at all. It's a bad product. They're catching pitches like this, but they technically clip the zone to where it's like Major League Baseball, of course, has seen that to where one, they're never going to dismantle the umpires union in the sense of like, sure, the umpires will still be out there, right? If it's full ABS, they're behind the plate, they get a notification, ball or strike. You can't be paying those guys literally all that money if they're just telling something. I could do that, you could do that. And I think the human element still needs to be in the game a little bit. And I love how it's like, oh, you have to be strategic about your strategies. Like, you don't want to waste it in the first inning. Could you imagine if it's October baseball and there's a call in the ninth inning that you want to make, but you can't because you made a mistake in the first inning and the second inning? It happened in the Orioles game where Ryan Helsley went to tap his helmet or his hat, but the umpire was like, "You're out of challenges." If he had a challenge, the game would have been over, and then there was a walk-off on it. So it's like, I think this just adds like theater to the game to where it's like I think it's perfect right now. I'm eating it up, and I like it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think it's been really fun to see. It's been really cool to see how close some of these pitches really are, honestly. Like, it's weird that the momentum Eric Sim rule has kind of found its way into Major League Baseball, and it sucks that I could kind of see his ass taking credit for that in some way, shape, or form. But nevertheless, there's a lot of pros to it. The only con I see just as like a baseball purist is that framing is kind of going to go away to a degree, and that does make me sad. That's like my dad's biggest gripe to it as well, probably, because you know my dad. You know he's an old school baseball guy. He doesn't like
Yeah.
any of this new school bullshit. He wants the pitchers hitting. He likes the pitch clock, but he wants
Okay,
the pitch. He wants the
baby
pitchers
steps.
hitting. I think he hates ABS. He thinks the ghost runner on second is stupid. I kind of agree, but
I think it's cool just in the sense of like one saving pitchers, and I'm always open for change. And I think if it improves the game and it has a meaning, which I think all of these rule changes have had, I can understand some baseball purists being like, it takes that element out of the game. But you know, that's why we have a baseball podcast. That's why we have difference of opinions. It's like at the end of the day, the game doesn't change that much to where it's like no one's ever going to say I'm going to stop watching baseball. And if you do, you're a psychopath.
yeah, it's not. It's psychopathic behavior to change it. Oh, the pitchers aren't taking swings anymore. Technically, they are because Shohei Ohtani takes at bats every game, and
Yeah.
they have a pitch clock. Yeah, the games aren't 5 hours anymore. This is awesome.
It's
I
so
get to watch a
nice.
Red Sox game and go to bed on time.
Well, yeah, the Phillies are in San Francisco this week, so it's like the games Monday and Tuesday starts at 9:45. Hopefully, I get to bed by midnight, but if not, like it used to be 2 a.m., dude. Genuinely, like
Minimum.
West Coast baseball is awful. But yeah, no, I mean it's exciting. I'm really excited to see what it does in the postseason because it's just not complaining.
Imagine the
I'm just
crowd
saying.
buffs though. Like just think about it. Red October. It's the Phillies and the DS. Harper gets struck out on a pitch that's like a point 0.2 inches outside. He gets pissed off. He slams his helmet and then slams his helmet on the ground. Not only does the call get overturned, he gets ejected because he slammed his helmet down. That'd be the most Bryce Harper thing in the world.
Bryce Harper could kill someone in the stands. He's not going to inject it from a Red October game. There's levels to this, but that would be incredible. Like just like, and you got to do it super quick. Like I don't know, I love the ABS. I could get on a rant for that, but I'm excited to see what it does for the rest of the year. It was fun talking baseball in the sense of like the big points of the week. I feel like that's kind of what we'll do. Every week this season if we can. I think the next episode we should do is either players that have like had a really hot start to the year or rookies, because you could do both, because there's a lot of rookies that are absolutely dominating, to where we kind of want to be an information hub for you guys, because I'm sure you guys know what's going on in Major League Baseball, but we want to highlight some things for you so you can kind of just, I don't know, like take this knowledge, take it back to your friends. If you want to act like you're a baseball savant, we can give you that information.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think, honestly, because if you guys went to go check the home run leaders right now, you might be surprised. Or if you guys
Yeah.
go to check who's leading the league in batting average right now, you might be surprised. Who's leading the league in strikeouts? We can tell you that. But yeah, there's been a lot of guys that have come through that you didn't really expect. There's been a lot of rookies that, like Owen was talking about. Like, I like to highlight Chase DeLauder specifically for the Guardians. That kid has been unbelievable. But yeah, I like the idea of that. It's been a fun first 2 weeks, even though my Red Sox have been terrible. Baseball has been fun for the most part outside of watching them.
Yeah.
And, I mean, outside of that, I don't really have anything else to say, but let's just keep this fun season going.
Yep, we got like 6 more months of it, so I'm excited. But that'll do it for this episode of Baseball for Maniacs. As always, go Phils. Ryan, I will see you later.
Yes, you will. Go Sox, hopefully.